What if we have been overlooking the one thing that could actually shift everything? Now let's talk about it. Hey fam, my name is Ben Alpha. Welcome to Push Chronicles, where we talk about life, growth, and everything in between. Today is episode 9. Let's talk about something simple but powerful: gratitude. We say thank you all the time, for friends, for favors, for a lot of things. But what if I told you that gratitude is greater than manners? Like it's bigger. It's a weapon, that could change our mindset, that could shift our mindset, and could change a lot of things, even when nothing changes. A while ago in my life, while growing up, I realized when I used to be so agitated, I used to be so angry, and vexed whenever things weren't working for me, you know, let's say maybe during instrument rehearsals and, a lot of stuff. I used to be so vexed, you know, all those emotions, come through and I get so irritated. And, at those points, I was always counting what I lacked. I was always counting what I didn't have. I was always counting what wasn't working for me. And then I felt to realize this other stuff that were actually working, the other stuff that were actually going well for me. I didn't count it, but I was counting what I was lacking. I was showing up, I was doing my best, but results weren't showing for it. But then, I stopped counting what I was lacking. I started counting what I had. I started counting what I've achieved. I started counting what I have gotten and where I have gotten to so far at that point. And it changed a lot for me. It really did change a lot for me. It changed a lot for me, not just outside, but it changed something inside of me. And that made all the difference. Gratitude is not self denial, it is not pretending and saying everything is okay. It is saying, even in the mess, I still see a meaning, I still see something changing. If we refer it back to the Bible says, in everything give thanks. In the book of First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 18, it says, in everything give thanks. It is telling us about gratitude. It is opening up the box of gratitude and telling us, even in the good and in the bad, when you give thanks, you change your mindset. And then, it's actually a move of, when your mind is rewired with gratitude, you you don't look at what doesn't work, you look at what's working, and by that there is progress and there is evidence of movement. So here is my challenge to you: before you complain today, give thanks for what is working, for who stayed, and for how far that you have come. Write it down, say it out loud. Thank God for how far you've come. Thank God for people that have stayed. Thank God for your family. Thank God for your relationship. Thank God for your mom, your dad. Even though it might not be what you want at that point, thank God for the little and for where you have come so far, so good. And by gratitude, that way your mind is open to new things that are to come. One thing I learned is about gratitude is it changes you in the storm. And that is where the real power is. And with that being said, let's get into what I have for you for today. Today is Friday, and as you all know, we give you what you use to close the week. Let's get right into it. So first of all, we have, don't despise small beginnings. The biggest buildings start from foundation. And like I said, it's all related to whatever I just said for now about my YouTube video, about you, because you have something that you have started. You have something that has taken a little leap. It might be a business, it might be a relationship, it might be work, it might be in your marriage, it might be in your personal life, it might be whatever it is that you are going through, whatever it is, you can actually refer it to your life. Don't despise the small beginnings. The biggest buildings start from foundation. That is one. And second, they compete with anybody. Life no be race, na marathon. You are not competing with anybody. Life is not a race. It is a marathon. When you get this in your head, you understand that your own journey is different from every other person's journey. You might have relatable circumstance, relatable situations, but your own journey is very different from the next person. You might learn from another person, but it does not mean you guys are going, on the same lane, because you are a different person. So don't use the competition of life to refer it to your own life. I understand the whole competition that will like revolves around everybody. This person has to go far, you need to do this, do this, do this. But then you have your own story to tell. So get that in your head. The next one is your background no be your full story. Use them as fire, not excuse. I'm gonna like pun it in English. Your background is not your full story. Where you were born is not your full story. Where you went to school is not your full story. I went to a community school. I went to a community school. Like if I tell you I went to a community school, like most people don't believe that. I went to a community school, like a school where there is no fence. Like I wouldn't call it all bad, but yeah, it's I shipped myself with that school. I didn't go to another school. I went to a community school, where a lot of things happen. But it's mindset. I shipped myself. I didn't allow it to be my full story. I got my awards and a lot of stuff from the school and all that, and I shipped myself. I didn't want it to be, the whole thing that revolves around people going to community school. I shaped myself differently. I came out differently. So can you. Your background is not your full story. Use it as a fire and fire up yourself and move out of that place. Move out of that circle. Don't let that matrix keep you. Break out of it and be better version of yourself. So another one is protect your mental space. Not every gist, group chat or social media trend na your lane. One thing we have to know in this world is that our mind is the door to every other part of our body. If our mind is captured, every other part of every part of our body is captured. If your mind is captured, every part of your body is captured. So make sure you protect your mind. Protect your mind from what you listen to. Protect your mind from what you read. Protect your mind from what you allow. From every other thing. I go through it. We go through it. Sometimes we allow our minds to be overtaken by a lot of stuff. It is something that really affects our push journey. And this is something you need to remind yourself of. What you listen to, what you watch. You might already be a victim of it because I am a victim of it one way or another, but we have to break free from it for us to move very well in this our push journey. So yeah, protect your mind, protect your mental space from some group chats, from what you listen to. You can be on TikTok, on Facebook, everywhere on social media. What you listen to, what you watch. The more you feed your mind, it will shape your future. So that is all for today. That is all for this Friday. Every Friday we are going to be dropping it, and we are going to be pushing ourselves with what we've got. So do well to like, share, subscribe, and send this video to who needs it, who needs to watch it, and tell them that something great is happening here on Push Chronicles. Make this your favorite channel. Turn on post notification, and we are going somewhere. Yeah, every Monday, we drop it. Every Wednesday, you get to hear an interesting topic and refer it to your life, and please engage. My WhatsApp channel, I'm going to drop the link also, so you can join my WhatsApp channel, so you stay ahead to any time video drops. Thank you very much. My name is Ben Alpha, and this is Push Chronicles with Ben Alpha. See you next week. Ciao.